Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of my Kerbal Space Program Career Mode series. In this video, we are sending a satellite to Mon and finding I have a whole bunch of Delta V left over and going to minmus too. And in the process, we also close or finish my entire tech tree. So please stay tuned and enjoy the video. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It is free to you and helps me out a lot. And please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It's not mandatory. None of this is. And um, message me in the comments or join my Discord, and you can message me at any time and probably get a faster response than in the comments. And well, what do you know? The build's almost complete. So I had a mission that had some certain criterias, like the top needed to be that specific module, and it needed to house a whole bunch of people, 4 Kerbals. Um, and then I also wanted to use it for science purposes too. So I put a research lab there and some science juniors. Obviously need an antenna for that, or any satellite really. And just included a whole bunch of monopropellant because you can never have too much of that. Yeah, I know it hurts my Delta V, but I don't care either. Still can never have too much of that. And I put a storage module on. Now I'm just filling it up with a whole bunch of things that will never be used. Yeah, just ignore that part. I have some docking stations on here, so I could eventually use it in future videos. However, I don't know how to dock things right now, and I did try during a live stream you guys may have seen, and it did not go well. So, still need to practice that a little bit. Alright, so the rocket's done, the satellite's done. Now I'm just building the rocket, which that first stage is final. I actually downgraded the size of this second stage, and then did another stage under it with the largest fuel tanks, because, well, we're only going to Mun, and why do I need so much? Or why wouldn't I have so much fuel? However, I quickly realized in this launch that I didn't quite have the thrust-weight ratio I wanted. As you can see in a moment here, full throttle, we kind of sit here very, very slowly climbing. So I just rerouted the flight and added more power. Also thought about adding a fairing here, but I didn't have a big enough one, so we just ignored that. Adding my favorite solid rocket boosters and some Separatrons, and now we're gonna launch it after I put some fins for control. And spoiler alert, this is actually the successful launch of the satellite, and we do make it to Mun, which I'll show back this launch in real time until we leave the atmosphere, and then I'll speed it up. But we have much better thrust-weight ratio. Still nothing amazing, nothing insane. I mean, it's great. And we're just gonna slowly increase our altitude. I'm not really gonna try any gravity burn. It just feels pretty unstable for me, and I don't want those boosters to crash back into me. But once I drop them, I do start the gravity turn. Yes, I know that's inefficient, but look at my delta V and tell me if that matters. Trust me, I had plenty of delta V to do this the most inefficient way possible and still do it. So, we're fine. And I used Jebediah as my pilot, who he recently died in one of my previous videos or live streams, and is untrained now, which is quite unfortunate. So I'm therefore sending him into space on board a satellite that is probably just going to be orbiting for an unknown amount of time and never be touched again. So yeah, sorry, Jeb. And all the scientists that got dragged along too. So that was a very beautiful separation. They kind of just fell away very pretty like. No harm done. And now, as you can see, I started a gravity turn. And a very steep apoapsis, which we're speeding things up now, as you may have noticed. And we're making a maneuver node for orbital burn, which I launched at a little incline that I'm going to have to correct, but that was easy enough. And I actually decided to turn off SAS. It seemed to be doing me more harm than good. I don't know why. A little shaky start there, but nothing too out of control. And here we go. We're almost to orbit. Yeah, it's a little high, but it doesn't hurt anything. We're going to Mon anyway, so it's going to have to be high. And we're in orbit. I did continue my burn a little extra there. I just wanted to circularize a little bit more. And as you can see, I still have 2000 delta V in this stage, which I did drop that last stage, the first stage, I guess technically second stage. And look at that, almost a perfect encounter with Mun. So that was very pleasing. Now we're approaching the maneuver node and starting the burn. For those that don't know, if you don't have any mods or install KSP, if you want to start your burn about half of the burn time before the actual node, for it to be accurate. And look, we are on our encounter with Mon. I did have to orbit around Kerbin once after the maneuver node before I got the encounter, but that was fine. And now we're on a very good trajectory around Mun and doing my orbital insertion burn so we don't just escape Mun. And that only cost me, I think it was like 250 Delta V or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. And just planning another maneuver node to fully circularize this orbit, because it was slightly off from the encounter, but nothing major. I could have left it like this just fine. But it's just a 35 Delta V correction, and I had over 2400 Delta V remaining. So, nothing wrong with doing that. And here we go, we're burning. I have a nice circular orbit around Mun. I overburned a little bit, and I think I do end up trying to correct it a little, but that didn't go quite perfectly still. But I left it, I was happy. And now we're deploying the many solar panels. And yeah, I know, I don't need this many. I need like 3 of these, not however many that is, like 6 times 3, I think. 18. But I had them, and I didn't run out of electricity. So we're good. And now I'm just going to transfer fuel around here a little bit. And then we're going to collect my science and use the research lab for a little while. Just change my time warps. Flash alert. If you're sensitive, you may want to skip through this part just in case. But we're just going to collect a whole bunch of science here and then transmit it back to the Kerbal Space Center. And rinse and repeat. Which, yeah, we're at this point, we're in space for almost 2 years now. It takes a while for these research labs, mobile processing labs, to do their job. So, but that's fine. We have time warp. Oh, and I decided to EVA one of my Kerbals. And I couldn't do the EVA kit, which was unfortunate. Probably user error. But who knows. If you all think it's user error, let me know in the comments section. If you think or if you want to tell me how I can use those in the future, please do so in the comments section. I accept criticism and positive comments. I could not care less which you give me. They're all useful right now for me with my level of experience. And look at that, 5,800 science points. Let's go close things out on my research tree. Nuclear propulsion, got it. Advanced metalworks, yep. Composites, high altitude flight, heavy aerodynamics, heavy landing, and field science. And I still had a lot, so meta materials will be next. Or I'm looking at it. Yep, I got it. And then we're going to do ion propulsion, maybe? Looking at it, thinking about it. And we're just going to get everything. So now advanced unmanned tech, automation, specialized electrics, which is a big one for future videos. I love those big, the big batteries. 4,000 electric charge is awesome. Can't get that, so we're going to go back and get the hypersonic flight or experimental aviation. Yeah, no, I don't have 1,000, so we're not getting that as much as I wanted to. Oh, we're just going to save my science and go get some more. Well then, that's easy enough. Okay, and you all tell me why I can't send more science to the research lab after I've done it once, please. It just gives me the 3 dots as you saw there. So now I'm just looking through the missions here real quick. and through some of my ways of earning money, not that I needed, I ended up cheating. I'm not doing this career mode for the money. I'm doing it for like closing the tech tree and just having fun, achieving new things like Mon orbit and stuff. Oh, and so, as I said earlier, I had all of that extra Delta V. You might have been wondering what if I plan to do anything with it. I didn't at the beginning, but I do now. We are going to minmus, which turns out to be a lot harder than it seems. I end up actually just putting myself back in a nice clean carbon orbit here, and then trying to get that minmus encounter just like you normally would, which the darn Mun kept trying to assist me here, which I was not very appreciative of. But I managed to correct for it a couple of times and avoid being sent around the sun instead of Gerben. But yeah, as you can see, it just keeps showing up as I orbit around here trying to get that minmus encounter that I never get for a while. And now we're just going to tighten up my Kerbal orbit here to make things a little easier for me, hopefully. And it'll also help me avoid the Mun from giving me boosts that I don't want. Yeah, it's still trying to be helpful, though. It's really not that helpful. And we're gonna collect some science here now, which everything's working again. It looks like I can send it to the processing lab. And now we're actually getting minmus encounters. Not great ones, but I don't care. I have almost 1900 Delta V remaining at this point. So any encounter is a good encounter for me. As long as it works and doesn't just send me in solar orbit. But it does. As you can see, that's what most would completely ignore as a terrible encounter, but I do not care. I will take it. And look at that, I've made it into minmus orbit now. And I'm actually going to go ahead and circularize this into a nice tight orbit, or at least tight to my standards, still at 22,000 meters. And we're just going to rinse and repeat what we did on round one. Gain a whole bunch of science from that processing lab and transmit it and time warp again. And yeah, if you have photosensitivities, you might want to skip this part too, as it does have a little flashing, as you may have noticed. Sorry for not early warning you. And if anyone has any questions for me or comments, please leave them in the comments section. They help me out a lot. And if you want to help me in future missions or join me on voice chat during live streams, join my Discord. And you can also leave comments on my Discord, and as I said, you'll be able to join voice chats with me. And there we go. Now we're going back to the research lab, and guess what? We're closing out the research tree. I think I had like 6,600 science points. And there we go. Research tree is complete with 2,000 science remaining. If you've made it this long in the video, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and it costs you about 0.5 of a second. And no money. So, it does more good than harm, trust me. And then, if you think you can still help me out after that, and you don't feel you've done enough, you can hit the like button, especially if you enjoyed the video. And as I've said a couple times during the video, leave a comment below. Any recommendations for future videos, any comments on things I can improve to make life easier on me in these videos, in this video. And join my Discord. Links are in the descriptions of all of my videos and live streams, so it should be pretty easy for you to find. Alrighty, and we're now wrapping up this video. There's a couple seconds left. Like, subscribe, join my Discord, leave a comment. I know I've said this many times, but it's probably old for you by now, but oh well. You can always skip through these parts. I won't complain. And I want you to all have a wonderful day, morning, night, whatever time it is for you. And I will see you in the next video and live stream. So, have a good day.